We are recording.
Hooray!
It's time for the Turbocast.
There you go.
Yes. Welcome to Turbocast 13. I'm Simon. I'm joined by Dr. Brownhill. How are you, Doctor?
I'm hungover. I'm very, very tired. I feel like I've got a bit of heartburn, and maybe it's like I might be sick.
All right, so we could have live digestion news.
Yeah, and I'm fat as well.
Yeah, are you going back to 20 stone?
I was near 21 actually, but no, I don't. No, I think I'd probably die before I got to 21 stone again.
If you get to 30 stone, I think your employer has to buy an electric wheelchair.
Yeah, every cloud, eh?
Yeah, you get one of those little electric mobility scooters to go to the shops in.
I could wear one of those things that Homer wears, like a big dress thing.
A moo-moo.
Yeah.
I wash myself with a rag on a stick.
On a stick. Yeah.
So, good luck with that project.
Yeah, we'll just see how it goes, eh?
Yeah, we've got a absolutely jam-packed show tonight. A lot of turbo sack to get through. So we'll see where we are at the end of the show. But as ever, we'll start it off with a look up the sphincter, and let's do digestion news.
Digestion news.
I was just going to say, I've got a huge turbo sack.
Yeah. It's absolutely bursting.
Yeah, it is. Anyway.
Right, I have your... do you want to read your digestion news first? Because I think the two solid entries, and you've possibly got a third one from last night.
Yeah, as ever, I've put them into email form so I can remember, the gory details.
Yeah.
Obviously, how long was it since we've done the last Turbocast? Was it last week?
It was.
Or was it the week before?
It was May the 7th, so it was 3 weeks ago, but for various technical reasons, I couldn't upload it.
Alright. Well, at least the first one. Just had industrial strength heartburn. Ate salted peanuts and extra mature cheddar while I waited for tea to cook. which was 2 Bernard Matthews turkey burgers, 2 fried eggs, 4 rashers of rancid bacon, a tin of Heinz beans, and a shovel full of Tesco Finest potato wedges. Afterwards had a piece of Tesco Finest strawberry cheesecake and a small pot of goo chocolate mousse. I was in considerable pain with my old appendix injury, so I had a medicinal drink, a very large gin and 7-Up with ice, followed by a very large cheap whiskey and 7-Up with ice, and then some fresh orange. At first I thought I'd broken my back, felt like someone was hammering 6-inch nails into my spine. Drinking gallons of milk, pain has moved more to front and is shooting up my nose. What a bastard.
Right, I've got several questions there.
Shoot.
I mean, the hunger must have been upon you, because it starts off with a very impressive amuse-bouche of peanuts and extra mature cheddar.
I put extra maturely, but it could have actually been vintage cheddar, which I think is a level up from extra mature.
You have to handle it with those gloves that sort of go into a Perspex box, like using paste.
Wow. I think my problem is, you see, I try to eat very sensibly. I have a bird seed bar for my breakfast usually.
Yeah.
And I try to have something sensible for my lunch. Maybe soup or, and a salad and some shit with it. So by the time I get in, I'm absolutely fucking starving, you know. I mean, you just, you know, a couple of handfuls of peanuts, you know, and a slab of cheese, just, you know. I'm not hungry, I can't, I have to be eating while the food's cooking, you know, it's just...
You're like a ravening bear at that point.
Yeah, I can get myself into trouble, so I might have to rejig, you know, have something a bit more substantial at lunchtime, maybe then I won't go so mental when I get in, possibly.
Well, why was the bacon rancid? Just because it was old?
Oh, I got a bit of sick then. Yeah, it was. I bought 2 packets of bacon, and I think couldn't use both of them, so I used one, and then I think there's about 4 rashers left. Yeah, because it was 6 in a pack, and I took 2 out of one of the packs. It's not good. So there was like 4 in the pack that had been opened. It'd probably been there for maybe a week.
Yeah.
And it'd gone a funny colour.
Oh,
it was like
that petrochemical sheen on them.
Yeah, and it was like hard. It didn't flop anymore when I took it out of the packet. It was like cardboard sort of effect.
Obviously, at this point, the bastards were going in.
Yeah, I just obviously cooked them loads, you know, frazzled them, you know, and get it in.
And what was the time span between finishing the last item, which was the medicinal orange juice, and feeling like you'd broken your back?
I think it was pretty close, you know, it was straight upon me. But what I find interesting, it just makes me wonder, was it the combination of it all, or was it one thing, you know, if I'd had the rest of it and not the peanuts and vintage cheddar, would I have still got it, you know? Or was it the 2 silly sort of drinks that I had at the end?
Well,
you know?
To be fair, I don't think they'd have helped.
No.
It would be interesting to eat that exact thing every day, but every day leave one ingredient out.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting is the word. Yeah.
If you can work on that and get back to us on it for the next show, I'm sure we'd all be fascinated.
I could, if I got that pain like every time I did it though, that wouldn't be good. Should I chip in with the other one?
Yes, please.
Made myself really ill with food on Monday. Took large Tesco Finest pizza. I'm pretty sure it was ham, mushroom, and a selection of cheeses on it. Upgraded with a selection of spicy cooked meats, extra mature cheddar, and a jar of jalapenos. All seemed well till I woke our lasses around 3 a.m. with a drowning sensation. Was suffering with cold and sore throat, but now a huge wave of acid reflux had joined the party. After the initial fit of acid spew drowning, I settled into a regular pattern of loud, painful acid coughing onto raw throat every 2 minutes. I think our lass took about an hour of this before retreating to the spare room. Got perhaps an hour or 2 of sleep, woke feeling like I'd enjoyed a night on the Terps. Magic. It was really fucking horrible.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
really
once again,
awful.
It's your old enemy, extra mature cheddar.
Yeah. I think it was probably the jar of jalapenos with a, you know, that was the winning ingredient.
So it was just...
I love jalapenos. I love them on a pizza, and I just think I went too far. I mean, it just couldn't see any of the other ingredients for jalapenos. You know?
Yeah, it was just a carpet of jalapenos across the pizza.
Yeah. Just a bit silly.
Fantastic. So, did you have all these things in with the intention of upgrading at Tesco's Finest Pizza?
Yes, I did, yeah. You can buy like these packets of, you know, selection of meats like Parma ham and pepperoni and also like chorizo and that sort of shit in it, you know.
Yeah.
And they never put enough topping on a pizza, do they, ever? You know, you never get one, even one that says, you know, extra topping, my ass, you know. So you just find any gap, shove some meat on it, you know, and then a liberal sprinkling of jalapenos. And I like to put cheese around the edge where the dry bits are, you know, so...
Yeah, if there's any empty real estate, get some more savouries on it.
Uh-huh. So yeah, it was planned, but obviously the jalapenos, I just went too far, I think. And I paid a heavy price.
Have you never considered getting a pizza base and starting from that foundation rather than Tesco's finest?
I didn't really know, but perhaps I should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should start making my own pizzas.
Mm. Build a pizza.
Yeah, I might do that, yeah.
So I've no digestion news to really, unfortunately, and I have continued to go out of my way to put myself in danger.
Well, you know, it's swings and roundabouts, isn't it? You know, sometimes I'm a bit lean, so...
You've put together a really strong passage of play recently, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
I mean, you're actually in some discomfort even as we're talking now due to your pizza kebab experience last night, so that's to your credit.
Yeah, I've sort of topped that off with a large Chinese today.
What, like in the evening, sort of?
Oh yeah, not long ago.
All right.
And I've been drinking quite a lot of cough medicine, bronchial balsam, and something called Meltus.
Right. I presume this isn't to get high, like Jim Carroll, the Basketball Diaries. It's just to...
it just makes me feel nice.
Oh, really? So it is just you've gone to cough medicine, recreational drink.
Well, you know, it's quite late, and I was actually in bed.
Yeah.
Do the people know when we're doing this? You know, it's 1:45 in the morning, for me.
Yeah.
And I had a heavy night last night, so that's why I'm pretty fucked. So if I fall asleep, that's why it is. But I've got a bit of a cough, you know. But I thought I need a little bit of, you know, special medicine to keep me awake. I think it's a little treat that I deserve for dragging myself out my pit. My eyes were just closing, you know, and then the text came through. You know, game on. But you know, I'll run through brick walls for the Turbocast audience. You know that, Simon.
Yeah, you're the Stuart Pearce of podcasting.
Yeah, damn right.
But brilliant digestion news. I did eat some sort of a seafood melange in pasta last night.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, usually if you mix 3 or 4 types of seafood together, you're on a winner there.
Yeah, seafood cocktail.
And it was very, very peppery. So I had a lot of hope, but no, it's all quiet on the southern front this morning.
Oh, well. Never mind. You can but try.
Absolutely.
You should have had a slab of vintage cheddar in there, you know. You'd have been sorted.
Is that what it's actually called in Tesco's? Vintage cheddar?
Yeah, I'm sure it's vintage cheddar, yeah.
I'll see what I can
down
do
and get the packet.
I'm not sure there's an Australian equivalent that's going to have the same effect, because I think British cheese is unsurpassed for a strong taste. You get like that orange plasticky slab. There's just so much taste per cubic centimetre, it's incredible.
Perhaps that could be our TC13 photo. I should go and photo the vintage cheddar. That would make for a nice picture, that.
Yeah, could you stage it in the wreckage of last night's takeaways if you've still got them?
Well, unfortunately, because I had a woman in the house, I wasn't allowed to leave it there to
Right.
fester for a couple of days, and revisit. So, unfortunately, that's gone the journey.
Yeah. So that's the sort of...
I think I've got some leftover Chinese on a plate. I could sit in on that.
Do that then, I mean, don't knock yourself out. You're obviously in a delicate state and high on cough medicine, so...
Yeah.
Don't go mental, just see what you can do.
Right.
So, if you're not actually going to be sick in the next couple of minutes, I think we'll move on to the big question.
I think it's past for now.
Yeah.
A couple of sicky burps, but that was it.
So this was I came up with the big question this week, and I have a big question and a big answer. So I'll give you them both. I'll briefly explain my thoughts on the issue, and then if you're still awake, you can chime in.
Yeah.
So the big question is, who wants to live to be 100? And the big answer is obviously a 99-year-old man.
Boom, boom.
I've been to a lot of hospital visiting recently, and you see people who are rounding the final turn, as it were. They're obviously not long for this world, and they're just absolutely fucked, mate. You know what I mean? Everything's going wrong with them. They're in their 80s with bits carved out of them and wired up to fucking machines and fuck knows what. Now, obviously, if you said to me now, in relative good health in my 40s, would you like to be dead or would you like to be in that state? I'd say no. Pass me the plastic bag and 40 Valium and see you later. But that's not the way the situation develops, is it? It's just like a little bit goes wrong with your body every day and you gradually get to that situation, so you're thinking, well, I'm only a tiny little bit more fucked than I was last year. But fuck it, let the doctors do the worst, I'll keep on living. Pass me happy.
Yeah.
So to kind of pose all this in the form of a question to you, would you prefer to just go with a massive coronary at age 65? Or just gradually deteriorate into a fucking mess that's completely dependent on other people at age 95? We've had that 30 years of life, which is obviously a precious gift.
It's all about quality of life, isn't it? And that's, it's quite a well-used phrase these days. I mean, a lot of people don't necessarily deteriorate. You get a lot of people in the 90s that are, bright as a button and still getting about, and, why can't I be like that and, die when I'm 100, fucking climbing Mount Everest, That's what I want. I'm not,
You want it all?
Yeah.
Well,
I want it.
I do agree that those people exist, because we have somebody at work who's an associate of the university, so that means she can still come and use the university facilities even though she doesn't officially work for us. And she's in her mid-80s, and she's still pretty sharp. I mean, she can work a MacBook pretty well, and she drives herself, and she lives on her own.
Yeah.
So there's an example for us all. But for everyone that's like that, there's a lot more that are sat in a load of shit wired up to a machine.
I think quite a lot of it's genetics, isn't it? I think you're sort of destined to be one that goes, turns to crap quite early.
Yeah.
I look at, so you got to look at your parents. Mine are sort of heading towards 70, and they're both, pretty fit and active and decent sort of good quality of life. So I'm thinking, as long as I stop eating all this utter fucking garbage, so I've got something to talk about on the Turbocast, I might have a chance. You know, I've got first-hand experience of some of this deterioration that you're talking about. My grandmother, I think she's 93.
Yeah.
You know, and she's had a fucking hell of a life. You know, she's had about 7 kids or something, and 3 husbands, and smoked and drank. You know, and you know, and it's up until she was mid-80s.
Yeah.
She was living by herself. She was walking, you know, 10 miles into town every day, you know, and living a full life. It was only when her sight was getting gradually worse and her hearing was getting gradually worse. She still had her marbles.
Yeah.
But, you know, that was, as the sight was going, the hearing was going, you know, things started to go wrong there. And, you know, she had to go into, you know, sheltered accommodation and home and what have you. And to see her now, it's, you know, it's quite sad.
How old is she now?
I think she's 93.
Right.
Definitely in that area. But, you know, she can hardly see and she can hardly hear. I mean, and she can't get about. So what does she, you know, what does she do? You know, I mean, what does she think? You know, and I don't see her as often as I should, but you know, going over to visit and you like scream at her, you know, so she can hear you.
Oh!
Yeah, and you know, you can't talk about anything because, you know, it's not like, what have you done, you know, or, you know, what have you been up to? Yeah, there's nothing. It's quite sad.
Yeah.
What did she say to me? So something the doctor says, you know, the doctor said she cracked a joke. She said, I can't see things that are there, and I'm seeing things that are not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting personal insight. I think loss of mobility I could probably live with. But loss of sensory capacity I think would hit me a lot harder. And despite the fact that, when you think about what the aging process is, it's the DNA in your cells become damaged through various environmental factors. So therefore, when the cells replicate, they make a slightly less perfect copy of themselves, and that's why your skin goes all horrible and your bones go brittle, etc. So I don't think there's going to be any breakthrough in our lifetimes that would reverse or even halt the aging process. But you just never know what medical science will come up with, so maybe it's worth hanging on as long as you can, just in case they invent robot eyes. I mean, if you topped yourself today and robot eyes were invented tomorrow, you'd be a fool, wouldn't you?
Damn right. And then, of course, you know, our alien friends could show themselves.
Absolutely.
Never forget that.
It's obviously beyond any near-term technology for us to repair aging-related cell damage, but our friends from above...
Oh, yeah.
You know.
You just never know when they're going to, like, you know, land and say, you know, it's the good times are here.
Step this way to be probed and have cell damage repaired.
Damn right.
Interesting.
Yeah, never give up hope. Where there's sort of life, there's hope. Shit bollocks. Bollocks shit.
Right, so on that upbeat note of what was a rather bleak subject, I think we'll end that and move into explaining the unexplained. So this is actually a catch-up segment because I wanted to talk about this when we did Explaining the Unexplained on cryptozoology, but I think this is such a fertile area or subsection of cryptozoology that it possibly deserves its own segment. So I've written Yeti / Sasquatch, but actually one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this was the myth, or maybe it's not a myth, of that undiscovered large beast man. It's so pervasive that it exists in many different cultures with many different names.
Indeed.
So, I mean, what are your thoughts on it? You don't have to restrict yourself to just the Yeti. You can...
I know there's like every sort of culture seems to have something, don't they, along these lines.
I'm going to read a list in a minute.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, it's a nice thought, but I'm a bit dubious on it. I think they'd have more evidence, to be honest. I just can't, I won't, it doesn't make sense that there isn't more, they haven't found one out of all the different ones in all the different, continents.
Yeah.
They've never found one, they've never found part of one. There's never been any compelling evidence, any sort of, they've got these cameras that, that are motion, triggered by motion, which they've captured all those new creatures out in Borneo or whatever that they've never seen before.
Yeah.
The people haven't seen, but they catch them on these, no, there's just not enough. I mean, you can understand why they never find any sort of UFO evidence, because they obviously use their, time machines and whatever to recover anything they need to and, wipe our minds.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think the monkey men have that technology available to them. So no, I'm starting off with a little bit of a negative vibe on that one, Simon.
All right, because the only halfway feasible evidence we had was the scalp that Edmund Hillary got from a Kumjung monastery in Nepal, and that turned out to be made from the skin of a mountain antelope.
Yeah. There's that very famous one of the guy in the gorilla suit walking off into the forest.
Yeah.
Which I think the proof was a load of bollocks.
So I'm just going to read the list of different global incarnations of it, and then I'll tease out a piercing intellectual insight at the end of it. So are you ready for the list?
I'm ready. I'm sitting down.
Almas. A Momo. Almas.
Sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted the list. I'll keep going. Start again. I was going to say, isn't that first one a song by that singer bird?
Fiona Amatrading.
No, the other one, she sang One Day I'll Fly Away.
Oh, Randy Crawford.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
anyway,
right.
So, yeah.
Well, I think Randy Crawford was at the forefront of hominid research.
Yes, that's correct.
So yeah, that's Mongolia, Almas.
All right.
Then we have Omomongo in the Philippines, Ban Manoush in Bangladesh, Bar Manu, Afghanistan and Pakistan, Batu Tut, Vietnam, Bigfoot, America, Chuchunya, Siberia, Fialiat, Scotland, Fook Monster, careful how you say it, America, Grassman, America, Hibagon, Japan, Mande Barung, India, Mapinguari, South America, Momo the Monster, excellent name, America, Nukluk, Canada, Orang Mawas, Malaysia, Orang Pendek, Indonesia, Skunk Ape, again America, Yeren, China, and finally the Yowie from here in Australia.
Very well. Why has America got so many? Are they all different types?
Yeah.
Or are they just different, what they call the same thing in different areas?
I really don't know.
Yeah. That's quite interesting.
Yeah. I think they, possibly it's the regional incarnations of the same legend that end up with different names.
So how do you feel generally about the existence of this thing?
I'm open to it. So I think the thing with large hominids, primates of that size is that there's very few of them because they obviously need a vast area to support themselves. So they're the apex predator. So an area can only support a very, very small number of them. So just maybe that there's some remote part of somewhere where this undiscovered species lives on. I'm slightly open to this one.
You just heard like a buzzing noise. Was that a... It sounded like a UFO was landing. Did you get that?
No. They've obviously come to
Right.
repair your cell damage.
Hey!
Or they need your cheese to fuel their spacecraft for the...
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the noise, yeah. I think the more, if was one was going to exist, I would have thought up in the mountains would have been the most likely place. You know, the abominable snowman sort of thing.
Yeah, I agree with that because it's so inhospitable to man and so vast that very few people ever go there.
Yeah, and if one dies, it snows on him straight away and he's covered up.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, Scotland, I'm having a hard time believing that one.
Hey, they've got a Loch Ness monster, mate.
We should save that for another show.
Yes, let's.
I'll have to do a bit of research on attempts to find it.
There's quite a lot of thingies, isn't there? We haven't... Did we do, like, Loch Ness and all that shit? Because, I mean, there's... Like the Yeti and the Sasquatch thing, there's a lot of those, isn't there, about strange creatures living in lakes and serpents and things.
Yeah, I'll do a bit of research for that next time. But just to draw out a broader point from this, I think it's interesting that lots of human cultures, who are obviously completely unrelated, feel the need to draw out the same myth. Like, you know what I mean? There can't really be any cultural connection between, say, the Japanese one and Sasquatch. You know, because those...
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
And yet, they've ended up with a very similar myth. So there must be something in the human psyche that feels the need to construct this beast man as a cultural construct. So I think on Explaining the Unexplained we're coming up with more questions than answers at the moment.
Yeah. I was just trying to think of a clever new title for it. Can you think of one, Simon?
Further obscuring the unexplained.
I like it. It's good.
Are you any...
In an interesting and entertaining way.
Yeah, light-hearted.
Hopefully.
Are you any closer to your long-term life goal of winning the lottery and opening a paranormal research institute?
Well, actually, Simon, on that subject, I've hopefully won the lottery tonight.
All right, so the Reedy Institute could be opening its doors on Monday morning.
Well, it's a bank holiday over here, so it'd have to be Tuesday.
All right. Where would you base it?
I don't know, Loch Ness?
Yeah, that's quite a long way from any major airports if you were going to investigate phenomenon, though.
I don't know. Heathrow?
Yeah, it's not bad. London would be good because you had obviously access to the British Museum and the universities, etc.
I should probably have a submarine.
That's Yeah, with like laboratories in it and a helicopter on it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, you'd be like Captain Nemo.
Yeah, pretty good.
Disused oil tanker in the mid-Atlantic.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Bring it on.
If the Institute opens its doors on Tuesday, send me an email.
Will do.
I mean, you must win the lottery soon, surely.
Well, I just can't understand how I haven't, you know. It just doesn't make sense.
No.
It's another, you know, unexplainable phenomenon. But like I say, I'll probably win it tonight, so...
Yeah.
You know, it'll make for a really amusing little, you know, conversation on Turbocast 14. Hey, you know, when I said I'd, you know, probably won the lottery, well, I did. You know.
Hey, what are the odds?
Yeah, fucking hell.
So you divide your time between paranormal research and anti-aging technology.
Yeah, and my musical career, of course.
Yeah. Talking of which, tell us about tonight's track.
I've forgotten what it is. The Only One for Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's absolutely fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
It's about a young lady that I had some dealings with in the past. Obviously had a big effect on me at the time.
Yeah.
Mrs. Brownhill listens to this, so I've got to be, you know, careful what I say.
Well, she knows. She knows.
She actually doesn't like this. She doesn't like this track because it's about, you know, a past thing. Yeah. I said, you know, it's just a song, you know, it can't hurt you. You know.
No, I mean, you're a man of the world, and it's your journey that's turned you into the person you are now. You're the sum of your experiences. Yeah,
chill, baby, you know, put the kettle on.
Yeah, he'll be round quickly to have acid reflux.
Yeah, it's this track was this track was done with my good friend Patrick Cannell. He brought a lot to the track. I'd like to thank him. He did a great job. I think it's really fabulous.
Right, let's have a listen.
For you now, and I hope you let me stay. No other place I wanna be now. Baby girl, you were all my world, of that there is no doubt. I lost my way, but I'm here today, and I just wanna shout. You're the only one for around my world that there is no doubt. I lost my way, but I'm here today. And I just wanna shout. This time I'm here to stay. This time I'm here to stay. I'll never go away.
Truly brilliant. You've surpassed yourself.
I have to agree, Simon.
Right, it's that part of the show.
Is it?
It is. It is.
Oh, fuck. I better get it. Better lob it out then.
Yeah.
Dr. Brownell's Day from yesterday.
Dr. Brownell's Day today from years ago.
Oh, shit, I'll have to turn the light on as well. Oh, God.
Well, are you in the Turbocast studio or are you lying in bed doing this?
No, I'm in the studio. I just didn't turn the light on. It was hurting my eyes. Right. My eyes are tender.
Yeah. It's the
Right.
cough syrup.
I'm opening the diary.
Right, remember you've passed midnight.
So what's the date then? It's the 30th.
Yes.
Which month?
May.
May.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Well, they're all good. I hope it's a great one.
Yeah. 1977, let's go.
Right, here we go, folks. Today I went to the baths and it was very good. Today I had seconds in sweet.
Oh, you burnt a lot of calories swimming.
Damn right, yeah.
Have you
That's
been?
pretty good.
Note for international listeners, baths means swimming pools, which is a municipal facility operated by the local government, which is really just a very large pool of semi-denatured urine and bacteria. Have you been recently?
To the baths? No, I haven't been for a while. I did swim in the sea a little bit though.
Alright.
When we had a sunny day over here.
Yeah.
And I got something bit me or stung me, and I got a great big, huge swelling on my leg, which was nice.
Interesting. I never realised there was venomous marine life in the North Sea.
Well, something got me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could have been an airborne critter while I was, laid on the sand. But anyway, shall we move on to 1978?
Please.
Today I had a lovely cornetto.
It wasn't just a cornetto.
No.
Yeah.
I was reading a lot of Marvel magazines today. So we've got, 2 consecutive years there, about sweets, ice cream, and I wonder if that's going to run through the
Yeah.
whole day.
The foundations for digesting news were laid early.
Right, here's 1979. To get into the final of the European Cup, Forest had to beat Cologne. At home it was 3-3. Forest were 2-0 down, but then came back. Away the score was 1-0. Today on... Oh, bloody hell. The score was 1-0 to Forest. Francis scored it Birtles played well. I saw the final between Forest and Malmo. Was it?
Yeah, I think this was 81.
No, 79.
79. I think Forest beat Malmo in the European Cup.
Yeah. So I squeezed quite a lot of words in there.
Yeah, that was a fairly awesome football up there.
Are you accessing the interweb?
Because this is interesting because I don't think in 1980 the European Cup would have been on television.
It's 1979.
Sorry, 79. How are you accessing this information?
I don't know. Well, they said it was on TV.
All right, maybe it was. Yeah. In 1978-79, Forest went on to win the European Cup by beating Malmo 1-0 in the Olympic Stadium.
And Birtles played well.
Well, Trevor Francis scored the goal.
Yeah. Great stuff.
First £1 million footballer, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was.
And shit manager afterwards.
Didn't he score that goal where the ball got stuck in the corner of the framework of the goal?
Is that right?
I'm sure he scored a goal like that, I could be talking out me arse, but it seems to,
That's a very, very interesting entry. I like that.
It was. I'm a bit surprised by it.
I don't recall us being that interested in club football. We were very interested in international football for some reason.
Yeah.
But not so much club football.
Yeah, it is quite an intriguing entry. Yeah. Anyway. 1980. I got a set of spray paint, primer and the good one. The primer covered the whole bike, but the good one did not. I will have to get my gears on order from Halfords, £10. Our cat was a year old only a couple of days ago.
I wonder which bike you were renovating.
I don't know. How old were they? Was they in 1980?
13.
Well, it must have been the Grifter then, was it?
Well, ordering the gears from Halford leads me to suggest not, because Grifters had a Sturmey Archer 3-speed hub gears.
Yeah.
Which you couldn't
you're right.
Unless you meant the gear shifting mechanism, the grip.
Because I did get a racing bike around that time, but
I don't remember ever repainting that.
No. Because the linkage would always break, wouldn't it?
On the Grifter?
Yeah, the little sort of...
the toggle chain.
Yeah, that would always snap, and you'd wedge your matchstick in it to keep it in second.
Yeah, it was a very strange and crudely designed mechanism that relied on a hollow axle bolt and a little chain that came out of the axis of the axle, then turned more than 90 degrees and connected to a cable. It was obviously just made of shit and used to snap quite soon into the Grifter ownership experience.
I used to remember that it was quite satisfying screwing that little thing in, though. It was like a little metal shaft on the end of it, and you'd screw that in. It was quite, pleasant.
But it's amazing how many years they persisted with that arrangement, even though it clearly didn't work properly.
Yeah. Great bike, though,
Yeah,
great bike.
I vaguely remember because we've actually, you and I both had Grifters and we repainted them both. I think we did mine first, and mine was a bright lime green, and yours was a rich executive metallic brown, I remember.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Shit brown it was.
What the fuck were we thinking with those colours?
I don't know. Probably seemed like a good idea at the time, I think.
The good one didn't go far enough, though.
Yeah.
I'm semi-amazed you bought primer.
Yeah.
Hmm?
There you go.
Attention to detail.
Right, last year, 1981. Unusually, I lazed about all day. Most of the day. I had a bath and popped a load of bubbles in the back garden. Banged our leper's head on the floor. Watched Roots. Switzerland 2, England 1.
It's a fabulous entry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sums up the sheer pointlessness of being young in the 80s.
Just for people's information, leper, I think that must have been on Lucy.
Yeah.
I had some strange names for family members while I was growing up. But it says I banged her head on the floor. I don't know, probably wouldn't have been on purpose.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Maybe if it was our Allisons, quite possibly, because we used to scrap, but not our Lucy's. And that's it, folks. May 30th.
That was good. I like the football entries.
Yeah, I like the way there was like two, the two sweet things in the first 2 years and then the two football things in the... Yeah, it's good though.
Yeah, because it shows a young man's interests changing, because when you're little all you want is sweets, and as you grow older you get a bit interested in sport.
And bikes.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Excellent. I'm closing the diary.
The Turbocast.
Right, we've got a lot of turbo sack to do now.
Right.
So we'll start on them, and then...
See how it goes.
Yeah, when you succumb to fatigue and cough mixture narcosis, just let us know. Right, so the first one is from somebody called Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Great show, lads. Really...
That can be a bloke or a bird, can't it?
It can, yeah. I think this is a bloke, though, from the way he writes.
Right.
I could be wrong. Great show, lads. I'm probably the same age as you two and really enjoy the diary entries. It brings back a lot of memories. What Terry would like to know is, are there any events that we remember that we would love to read the diary entry for? I've got a couple I can think of, but I don't know if they were ever in the diary.
I don't think my mind, as it is at the moment, can cope with that question.
It's just causing neurons to short circuit.
Yeah, I'm just not going to be able to get my head round that, so, you can answer that one, Simon.
Do you understand the question?
I don't think I do.
He wants to know, I think, this is my interpretation.
Alright, pick something that's happened and then see what the diary entry says about it. Is that,
No. I think what he's saying is, are there some events that we would like to come up by chance on the diary segment in the show? Like, are the things that we are anticipating and looking forward to, and we hope it's there when we open the diary entry to the day every show?
Right, will you tell me what, I'll probably get it when you say it.
Right, so the two things that stand out to me that I would love to read the diary entry for, if they happen to be on the diary entry for that day's show, is I remember you sitting on your soldering iron while it was on, which is very funny.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the scar from that now as we speak.
And the second one was when you got new central heating in your house, the workman foolishly left a piece of duct behind, so we burned newspaper in it, and because it was a windy day.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
stood it up against the wall, didn't we?
Yeah, the wind, because of the Bernoulli effect, caused a very, very strong updraft of air through the central heating duct. So as we put burning newspaper in the bottom, it absolutely incinerated in fractions of a second, and it pleased us enormously.
Cool.
So do you understand the question now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't know if I can remember anything that happened though.
I think we were a little bit older when the central heating went in. The diary may have been finished by then, and ditto the soldering iron.
When did we go? When did we go to London? Were you at London?
Yeah.
I had that cream jacket. How old were we then?
I just forgot about the cream jacket.
You forgot the cream jacket, man.
You walked around London looking as if you were a weather presenter.
It was fantastic. It was a sports jacket.
Oh my god.
When was that?
Well, I was still at junior school, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't even know why I got to go, because it was your school trip.
Yeah.
But I didn't go to that school, so I'm not sure why I got to go.
I'd really love that. So I don't think... It's 1977, so I started when I was 10.
Yeah.
So... Could there possibly be an entry in for that?
Yeah, I think there could be.
I'd love to hear what I had to say about that, because I remember seeing tramps and things. I remember being horribly homesick and missing my mum.
Yeah.
And I'd like to hear what I said about it.
Yeah, I've got a couple of distinct memories of the London trip. I remember we stayed in a horrible boarding house, which I think was in Clapham.
It was awful.
Yeah, and I was on Clapham High Street. I mean, I know this now, because obviously having lived in London, my geography of London is much better than it was at the time. I was on Clapham High Street, and the thing that really struck me is you could hear cars at night, because I lived in the country and you never heard any cars at night, so I was laying in bed listening to the cars thinking, God, this is amazing, I can hear cars, but it's dark.
Did something happen when we were in the dining area on a morning, and there was like an old lawnmower in a garden?
Don't remember
that?
Yeah.
We talked about Farmer Barleymoor or something. We thought it was hilarious.
I remember you doing Kung Fu in the nude and receiving some discipline from the teachers accompanying the trip to London.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think you got out of the bath, possibly put on the famous blue underpants that featured in Turbocast 1, and started singing Kung Fu in the nude and attacked Gary Giles.
Yeah. Great stuff. I think I'd love to know if a photograph survived of that, because I'm sure there was one of me in my cream jacket. If I could find that photo, that would be an absolute peach, but I wouldn't know where to begin to look for it.
So I mean, you wouldn't go to London at much less than age 10, but we were still at junior school, so the oldest we could have been was 11.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty confident that the London trip is in the pages there somewhere.
I really hope so. I really hope it's in there.
It wasn't the winter, but I don't remember it being very hot. I have a vague memory of it being around Easter time.
Yeah.
So I think we've missed our shot this year. We'll have to hope it comes up next year.
Yeah, it's very tempting to go digging for it now, but I shall resist.
Right. So excellent question, Terry. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Cheers, Terry. Keep listening.
The central heating duct discussion reminds me of the washing machine incident as well. I might.
Oh, fucking hell! Yeah.
I'll save that
I think
for the next show.
Yeah, it needs its own show. That.
Oh yeah, needs a 2-hour special.
I'm getting the semi on thinking about it.
Right. So remind me next time we'll talk about the washing machine incident.
Yeah. Okay.
Next letter from Turbocast superfan Mel wants to know. She also says.
Hi, Mel.
She says you're brave for some reason.
Well, yeah, she's right.
She wants to know what happened on Snowdon.
Did I say something about Snowdon last time? I can't remember what I said.
You were just about to set off.
Oh, was I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I hadn't done it on the last...
Yeah,
right.
You were concerned whether your feet would be able to carry your considerable bulk up the mountain.
Yeah, well, it was...
Oh, shit, I've got pins and needles. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, nasty. Call an ambulance, mate. You don't mess about with pins and needles. Well, the journey actually to there was fucking horrific. I was in a... I mean, it's painful to talk about it. There was like me and two birds going up there. Mrs. Brownale and her good friend.
Yeah.
She hasn't seen for a while. And so we were staying at their house in Birmingham, which was very kind of them. And then we were driving to Snowdon, from there sort of thing. And we went in this Nissan Qashqai thing. And I sat in the back. The seats, the two front seats looked luxurious and plush.
Yeah.
And the back seat was like a plank of wood on a couple of breeze blocks. So my arse was getting some, serious jip.
This is the Birmingham to Snowdon leg was done.
Yeah, this is the Birmingham to Snowdon leg. So there was me in the back, and there was those two in the front, and they fucking talked constantly, about fuck all the whole way there. And I was going fucking insane. It was about 2.5 hour journey. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, the trek up the mountain, we were going up the hardest route up, which is the Watkin Path, I think.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. I mean, those two, younger and fitter than me.
Yeah.
They were like pushing on, and I was sort of doing my best,
Uh-huh.
We got close to the summit, the last little bit, sort of quite a steep scree.
Yeah.
And it was when we got near to that, which is probably 95% of the way up, possibly.
Yeah.
It was very windy and actually quite cold. I was completely fucked by then, I was goosed. And they said they weren't going to risk it because it was, it was quite steep this last bit, and like I say, it was windy and maybe it was a bit dangerous, so we sort of thought we'd gone far enough. So that was good because it was an excuse I could use, as a reason why I didn't make it all the way up. But I was pretty pleased with the effort.
Yeah, to summarise, you would have went to the top, but the little ladies...
Yes, that is the lie that I'm telling.
Yeah, obviously you couldn't leave them.
No. I wanted to push on for the summit, and...
But you couldn't leave them at the base camp, because if this show's taught us anything, it's the universal preponderance of large hairy hominids in every part of the world.
That's right. So I wanted to go up there, mark my territory on the top. I would have a crap on the top. Yeah, I'd quite like to do it. I mean, the scenery was wonderful.
So are you going back for a second attempt at it?
Yeah, but I'm going to get there a different way, I think. Arrive there, a different way, sort of maybe driving myself or something, maybe stay in the area. Because, it looked really, really, really nice around there, so...
Without...
I mean, I was fucked before I got there.
Yeah, if you'd driven yourself in the man's chariot, a bit of Divine Comedy on the stereo, you'd arrived in a better frame of mind.
I was listening to Radio 4 on the way up.
All right.
Which helped.
Right. That's a very good Snowdon update. Thank you very much for that. I'm sure it's made Mel very happy, and she salutes your courage in choosing not to summit for personal glory and protecting the little ladies.
Well, that's me all over, Simon.
Yeah. We've had an email from somebody called Sam, who, again, gender ambiguity, and this is a comment on the last show, and he just writes, "This is beyond brilliant." So, more mail like that, please. Right, we also have a letter from Turbocast Superfan Penny, who's possibly referring back to Dr. Gronell's top 5 spews. And she writes, Nothing beats puking up green tea ice cream after 5 scotch and sodas onto the sizzling hot grill at Benny Happer's Tepan Grill in posh Marina del Rey in front of 20 British co-workers at a birthday luncheon. Waited a full year to return to the restaurant. The hostess escorts me to the table, whereupon the Japanese table chef looks up and screams, "Oh no, not Hugh," and ran out of the room.
That's fucking awesome, Pen.
Yeah. In Benny Hanna's, they cook the food at the table, so every table has its own chef. There's like a grill and the chocolate stuff and grill it in front of you.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful.
There's somebody here who wants to know what we think of the iPad, but obviously you won't think anything about it, and I'll think it's great, so we'll just take that as read, I think.
Yep.
This was a letter we had a couple of shows ago, and I meant to talk about, but it got lost in the vortex. It's Mel again, so sorry about this, Mel. We didn't get back to you on this last time. I think it was Turbocast 10 when you sent this question in. She wants to know if we've sent any drunken texts, emails or letters that we've subsequently regretted.
Fucking loads.
Yeah, obviously, this is the anti-iPad topic, in that I have absolutely nothing to offer on this. I've sent lots of emails that I've later regretted, particularly at work. But
well, I mean, I'm saying that I can't remember any of them. Well, I can maybe remember one, but I'm sure it's not the funniest one. I mean, I was an absolute twat for sending drunken text messages and emails. You know, I'd wake up and I'd fucking shit myself because I had an inkling that I'd been doing something the night before, you know. And then I told all these people I love them, you know, and all this bollocks, you know. Oh, Jesus.
I remember when I lived in London, which was the late 80s, so we were sort of in our very early 20s. I just turned 20. I remember you writing me letters, and a fairly common theme of the letter was you'd come in from a big night out, get the pen and paper out, start writing letters and actually go around and put them through people's doors.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyway.
I think
I'd love to see some of the things that I've sent. I think I did one, you know, Charlotte, the Scottish lady.
Yeah.
I did something with her. I sent her a note. Or was it apologising? And yeah, I sent her a letter. I was apologising and said, the only thing I can remember about you is your huge tits.
Was she mollified by that? It's a compliment.
She was quite a rough and ready Glasgow lady, so, you know.
Uh-huh.
We you know, hooked up after that, and yeah, she's now doing stand-up in New York.
All right. Get in touch with her, we'll have her on the show.
That would be fantastic. She's got a couple of things on YouTube. I'll send you a link.
All right.
It's quite good.
Right, on that happy note, I think we'll wrap the show up. Thank you very much, Dr. Brownhill. Head over to turbocast.podbean.com for all your Turbocast-related entries, and be sure to fill our turbo sacks. Good night, Doc.
Good night, Simon.